Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for 23 ABC News at 5. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight's top stories. New felony charges filed against a man who had ties with a member of the Bakersfield Three. Details on the crimes that were added against Matthew Queen. Plus, families ringing in the new year with new additions to their families. We'll tell you how many babies were born on the first day of 2020. Allison?
And we are tracking dry conditions through at least Saturday. I'll let you know what that means for warming temperatures as well as air quality when 23 ABC News at 5 starts right now.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 5 starts.
I think it's amazing. I mean, she means a lot to me, and she's already making records without realizing it.
Families in Kern County welcoming new babies into the world to start 2020. We're going to introduce you to some of those newborns. We're going to have more on that story later in the newscast. But we start tonight with 6 new felony charges filed against a man who reportedly had ties with one of the Bakersfield Three. Court records show 43-year-old Matthew Queen is now facing an additional 2 counts of possessing an assault rifle, 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a felon, and 2 counts of possession of ammunition by a felon. Queen reportedly has ties to missing woman and member of the Bakersfield Three, Bailey Despot. This is not the first time additional weapon violation charges have been brought against Queen. Back in July, Bakersfield police added additional weapons charges to Queen's original charges, which included kidnapping and resisting arrest. Queen is set to be back in court tomorrow. Officials are investigating what led to an off-duty Bear Valley Springs police officer shooting himself in the leg last night. According to the Bear Valley Springs Police Department, it happened around 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Officers were dispatched to the Oak Tree Country Club in Bear Valley Springs for a report of an off-duty officer who accidentally shot himself. Officers with the Stallion Springs Police Department and KCSO also responded. Authorities say there is no indication of an altercation between the officer and another person. The officer had non-life-threatening injuries to his leg and was transported to Kern Medical. According to Bear Valley Police, KCSO is investigating, but the sheriff's office says it handed it back to the Bear Valley Police Department. Meantime, a man was reportedly trying to stop traffic with a gun in southeast Bakersfield. That's according to Bakersfield police. BPD confirmed with 23 ABC News that it received reports around 4 this afternoon about a man in the road with a gun. Officers responded to the area of Cottonwood Road just south of Brook Street. BPD says it found a gun in the area and later took the suspect into custody on Brook Street. He has not been identified at this time. The coroner has identified the man who was hit and killed by a vehicle in southwest Bakersfield overnight. It happened in the area of Parker Avenue and Oriole Street around 1:15 this morning. Bakersfield police say officers found a man later identified as 54-year-old Kirk Conlin Parrish who had been hit by a car. He was taken to a hospital where he later died. Police say the car that killed the man was a Dodge Challenger or Dodge Charger and took off after hitting Parrish. According to officials, it had black and gray two-tone paint. If you have any information on the hit and run, you are asked to call BPD at 327-7111. Now to a second day of unrest at the U.S. Embassy in the Iraqi capital. A crowd that had camped out in the area setting a roof of the reception building on fire. U.S. Marines guarding the embassy fired tear gas at the protesters. ABC's Serena Marshall has more from Washington.
For the second day in a row, the American embassy in Baghdad ablaze. Protesters who camped out overnight lighting the roof of a reception building on fire. American troops watching from overhead, at one point firing tear gas and rubber bullets into the crowd to disperse the protesters, reportedly made up of Iranian-backed Shiite militia and their supporters. More than 100 Marines deployed to the region, providing additional security for the embassy after the New Year's Eve protests began. Apache helicopters with a show of force, flying overhead, shooting off flares. The chaos followed U.S. airstrikes in Iraq and Syria over the weekend that killed 25 militia members. Those airstrikes in retaliation for an attack in northern Iraq that killed a U.S. contractor. President Trump blaming Iran for the chaos.
We have some of our greatest warriors there. They got in there very quickly. I want to have peace. I like peace. And Iran should want peace more than anybody.
Iran's supreme leader brushing off the threat and condemning the U.S. airstrikes. Outside the embassy, smoke continues to billow, but the scene calmer. The Iran-backed militiamen withdrawing from the compound, following calls from the government and senior militia leaders. There are currently still no plans to evacuate the embassy, but the defense secretary said they have deployed an additional 750 troops to the region on standby in case of any further unrest. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Well, this weekend will mark 6 months since the community of Ridgecrest and Trona were rocked by 2 powerful earthquakes. Many people in those small communities are still trying to pick up the pieces and rebuild after a 6.4 and 7.1 magnitude earthquake hit the area back in July. So 23 ABC will be airing a special 30-minute newscast as we talk with residents in Ridgecrest and Trona, hear from seismology experts, and talk to Bakersfield officials about whether or not we are prepared here. Join us for that 23 ABC special, which is set to air this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. A reminder today, some local resources around Kern County are closed for the New Year holiday. All recycling and sanitary landfills, special waste facilities, and transfer stations will be closed. All disposal sites will return back to their normal service hours after the holiday, which is tomorrow. So county offices will be closed today as well.
Well, we are looking at a beautiful sunset, the first of the new year. We can see those beautiful pink skies, and we have been seeing passing clouds throughout the afternoon, but that did not stop temperatures from reaching the upper 50s here in Bakersfield, 57 degrees right now. But you can see those temperatures are warmer than what we were seeing this time yesterday. That's all thanks to high pressure that is dominating off the region. But we were tracking a dry cold front that swept through the state, so that's what brought those passing clouds that we were seeing throughout the day. So we did see a little bit of rain and snow throughout the Great Basin, but that is going to be clearing out, and you can expect dry conditions Thursday, Friday, as well as on Saturday, and warming temperatures. But something that we continue to track and have been all week is the chance for that patchy fog. It looks like most of that is going to be staying just north of the county overnight, but we are tracking that chance again Friday as well as Saturday mornings before our next rain chance makes its way into the region. I have more details on when we could be seeing that coming up next.
While many are still partaking in New Year's festivities, a handful of families are receiving the gift of a lifetime. A total of 5 babies were born on New Year's Day in Kern County, and 1 bundle of joy arrived exactly at midnight. 23 ABC News' Leslie Gooden spent the day with a few of those families and joins us in studio with more. Leslie?
Good evening, and that's right, Jess. Today I was able to speak with the families of the first 2 babies who arrived in Kern County. Alina Takar right here, and she came in at 12 a.m. at 1 second. And Diego Florino right here as well was born right at 12:02. Both mothers and babies are doing well and excited for their New Year babies.
As millions around the world rang in the new year 2020, 5 babies in Kern County made their way into the world at midnight and just a few minutes after.
I only pushed her 3 times and then she was out. I don't know, I never expected it to be a New Year's baby.
Alina Takar made her entrance at exactly midnight, making her the first baby in Kern County and into the new decade. And she was not scheduled to arrive until January 3rd. She is Jasmine and her husband Gurjeet Takar's firstborn.
She's already making records without realizing it.
And according to Kern Medical Hospital officials, Alina is the first baby to do this in the past several years.
I feel like her being born on New Year's Day, a new decade, it means like a new beginning, a new chapter for us, me and my husband. I'm really excited. She means it's like the world to me.
Takar says she feels great after giving birth to her 7-pound and 4 ounces bundle of joy. And just a few miles away at Memorial Hospital, Diego Florino was born to the Florino family.
He weighs 7 pounds and was born at 12:02 a.m. and I'm really happy.
The now mother of 2 says she's only been in Bakersfield for 6 months and is grateful to have a healthy new addition.
We didn't know what time it was going to be, and then they told me it was at that time, and I was like, wow.
Here at 23 ABC, we want to wish all the families and their new bundle of joys a happy new year and another congratulations. For now, in studio, Leslie Gooden, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
So precious. Thank you for that, Lesla. Well, one local health center helping homeless individuals in our community. The Comprehensive Blood and Cancer Center hosted its Feed the Homeless and Needy event. The event is featured by the Nana and Ravi Patel Foundation and has been going on for 17 years now. Physicians and volunteers from the CBCC provided food, clothes, and hygiene kits to attendees. There were also hot catered meals for about 500 people. Ravi Patel says many people help those in need during Thanksgiving and Christmas, but people forget about New Year's, so that's why the event was created.
We invite the people in the community. We'll end up getting about roughly around 500 people who come by, and we give them, we create a festive environment so they feel good about it. They feel that they're getting a good start for the new year and that the future may turn out to be bright.
The CBCC says it had multiple staff members and volunteers on hand to help with the event. Veterans will be gathering in Central Bakersfield for some breakfast and bonding. The breakfast is put on monthly for vets to gather. Veterans from all eras are welcome. Coffee will be ready at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and breakfast is served at 9. It's free for all Honor Flight veterans and all local World War II vets. The monthly gathering will now be at the Elks Lodge located near the Garces Circle. A special face in this year's Rose Parade was featured on JJ Legacy's Donate Life Fluorograph float. It was local 8-year-old Nathan Nicholas Street. He passed away in 2015 after a 13-month battle with a tumor that started in his brainstem. His parents chose to donate his tumor tissue to research where a live cell line was established. The cell line has been shared among doctors worldwide and is currently used in numerous research studies. Each year, JJ's Legacy and Dignity Health honor the gift of life in the community through the Legacy of Human Kindness Award. In November, the Street family was recognized as a recipient of that award. The theme of this year's float was Light in the Darkness. Still to come here on 23 ABC News at 5, the president takes on the Speaker of the House as Washington puts its focus on North Korea. We have the very latest on the impeachment and possible missile testing. Plus, gas prices could remain steady to start 2020. What Gas Buddy is reporting for this upcoming year at the pump. Allison?
And temperatures will be warming significantly as we head into the weekend. I'll let you know what that means for air quality tomorrow, coming up next.